Hello, this is Érika from Small Robot Studio, bringing you an easy guide on how to design faces for your characters. Faces carry a lot of storytelling. Faces tell us a lot about our characters, such as age, ethnicity, or personality. Let's focus on 3 goals for designing faces. Let's make our designs structured, vastly different from each other, and interesting. A common mistake is to focus on the features of the face. Start drawing and designing the eyes or mouth, ignoring the structure that holds them in place. I am guilty of this. Honestly, the features are the most exciting thing to draw. When we ignore what holds them in place, we might end up guessing incorrectly their location, and they will look as if they are drifting apart. The same way that letters navigate on an alphabet soup. Let's understand what is underneath. I know the skull can be intimidating, but the point of this video is to make it simple and digestible. What I just shaded in green is what is known as subcutaneous areas. This is a fancy way of describing bones that are visible. There is usually only a thin layer of skin covering them. Bony landmarks are visible even in bodies with higher fat percentage. If they don't protrude, you will see dimples instead. These landmarks are usually where skin, muscles, and tendons attach. As we get older, our muscles and skin will start to stretch, but the landmarks, as they are bones, will remain the same. You can appreciate in older people that these hanging messes originate in these landmarks. Learning and understanding these landmarks will be the key for designing faces, keeping them consistent and being able to age them. Let's simplify these landmarks in a few points. I have included a couple of diagrams linked in the description so you can follow this video and practice with me. Starting on the side, we will mark the end of the zygomatic arch, which give us the origin of the ear. Just below, the corner of the jaw. Moving to the front, we will mark the outside of the zygomatic bone. This is the edge where the front becomes the side. Slightly below, the corner of the cheekbone. Now, the corners of the chin. Finally, on the very middle, at the bridge of the nose. It never hurts to have a center line, especially when we have our faces in perspective. Now, let's try to find these landmarks in different people. The shape of the head and location of the landmarks will vary, and it is something that definitely you can change at your own will for your own designs. Before designing the features, I design a letter T, which will tell me the space that the eyes, brows, and nose will use. The top corners of this T will give us the top forehead landmarks. Think of this T as made of clay. We can squash it or stretch it as much as you like. And once you have established the T, we can actually draw the eyes, brows, and nose. Don't worry about polishing your drawing, we are laying down ideas. The cheekbones are another feature that we must acknowledge and have fun designing. There is a natural rhythm that connects the landmarks. It describes the shape of the cheekbones and gives us the width of the mouth. Yes, this rhythm looks like a question mark. This rhythm is also made of clay. Exchange curves with straights, accentuate or soften angles. Just like before, once having this, you can now place your mouth and chin. Once completing our T, we can locate our landmarks and design the final feature, the ear. All we need is another nice rhythm connecting the landmarks that are left. Changing the proportion with T is the key to create all sorts of different designs and avoiding the same face syndrome. A tendency we artists have to draw our characters with very similar looking faces. Sweet! We have fulfilled 2 out of 3 goals. Now the key to an interesting design is avoiding monotony. Monotony in design is same size or same distribution. Anything that you repeat over and over again will become a pattern. Sameness is boring. Like a joke you hear over and over again, it stops being funny. But what will save us is the Snowman Principle. It's pretty simple. A snowman is made out of 3 balls of snow: big, medium, and small. The classic snowman is kind of boring, simply by the fact of how often we see him. We can make it more interesting if we switch the order and contrast the size of the pieces. When designing, subdivide your design in big, medium, and small. Consider the actual shapes and the space between your shapes. Early on the design process, make sure that you are avoiding sameness in size and distribution. This simple key will make anything you design much more interesting. I focus this video on designing faces, but designing and constructing heads is another challenge. No matter the style, you need a good structure. My recommendation is always learn the Loomis method. It's a simple and easy way to understand the head. There are already brilliant classes online that you can watch. I've included a link to my favorite ones in the description below. That's it for this tutorial. If you find it useful, make sure that you leave a like so other people can find it. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, as we are bringing out CG and illustration tutorials every week. Become a patron and access tutorial assets, bonus content, a private Discord, and more by clicking in the link below.